Xin chào mọi người, các bạn khỏe không? Khỏe à? Thank you. Well, good for you because you're okay. I'm not very okay. I told them to play Madonna as I walk in the stage, so I'm a little bit calmer. I'm very nervous right now. I think time flies. Just a few months ago, I got a message from Vin Wang, one of the organizers for the event, and asking me to speak here tonight. So the first thought was, oh my God, finally I can talk in TED, right? Yes, yes. So I shared my news to my friends, and it started to sink in when my friends started asking me, so Paul, it's TED, what are you gonna talk about? I'm like, me? I don't know. I actually didn't have an idea. And the worst thing is, I asked the organizers who else are speaking in the event. And when I saw the pipeline of speakers, I'm like, okay, now is the best time to write that email and say, I cannot make it to the event. But I'm going to share with you a little secret. Can we please flash my most embarrassing photos on the screen? All right. Every time I feel scared speaking in public, I look at these photos. I was probably 3 to 8 years old when I was competing in storytelling, declamation, and my mom would always tell me, "Boy, ayaw hagayod ha kay nakuha kong premyo." It's our dialect, it's not Filipino. I grew up in a very tiny island in the Philippines. What it means is, son, do very well because the prize is very big. So no matter how scared I was, I'd walk on that stage and try to win the cash for my mom. The older I get, I realize that everything I do is still for my family. But I decided to come here today because I want to talk to those small town boys and girls who are dreamers, but always a little bit scared. And for the sake of tonight's conversation on the uncategorized, I want to talk about something that is a taboo. When we were younger, we were told to fend it off, to kill it. I want to talk about fear and how, by looking at it in a different perspective, can help us make better decisions and succeed in life. Ready?
Yes.
Okay. So let me do this as I would do business. I use frameworks. Can we please flash the most boring slide on the presentation? Next one. There you go. So I want to use the framework of the 4 lenses of innovation. Basically, what it says is that to be a Renaissance man, to change the world, you need to be able to challenge orthodoxes, challenge the mindset. Number 2, you need to be able to identify the needs of the people. Number 3, you need to be able to see the patterns, the trends. And then lastly, to be able to leverage resources. So what if fear is a resource? Just come to think of it. I'm not saying that you make everybody scared, everybody around you scared. I'm saying, what if the fears we have in us can be transformed like a resource into something equally powerful, but it won't slow us down, it won't stop us, something powerful that can help us make better decisions in life. So today I'm going to share with you 3 life experiences that helped that island boy into a 30-year-old speaking in TEDx with 3 companies operating in more than 10 countries around the world. My father's Jeep, please. There you go. So my father's family is an okay family, but My parents were struggling when I was young because their marriage wasn't supported by my grandparents initially, because my mother's upbringing, my mother's family, and so on. So I saw my parents struggling, trying to make both ends meet. And what my dad did was, he has 3 of these. They stuck it with vegetables, chicken, cattle from the island. They put it in a boat to the main island, and they drive it for 12, 15 hours to Manila, the capital of the Philippines. And I remember he'd be away for days and days and days. And as a young kid, of course, I was dreaming, hopefully one day my dad doesn't have to go away anymore to earn money. And at that very young age, I already had that fear of not having enough. That not having enough has consequences. And these consequences can be avoided if you have enough financially. But the older you get, the more I also realize that it's not that simple. But what this experience taught me is that people dream, we dream, and together with that dream is a little bit of fear. The key there is that dream has to be always, always bigger than that fear. Next photo, please. Okay. Anyone recognizes the photo? Yes. Okay. So my next experience with fear was when I was in high school. I was in a special class called Science and Technology Oriented class. We have classes from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. We had advanced geometry, advanced calculus, advanced physics at the age of 11 and 12. I was in a very tough class and very tough classmates. I remember first time seeing a classmate with something on her teeth, basically like this girl. So I ran into her and I said, Franz. By the way, if she sees this, I love you. Don't be. So I came to her and I said, Franz, why do you put braces on your teeth? And I remember the entire room turned silent and started laughing at me, making fun of me because I mispronounced the word braces. I decided not to talk for a month. I only talked in the class when the teacher required me to say something. But what I did with that experience, the first thing I didn't talk. Number 2, every time I see my classmates, I say, Vete la fea, vete la fea, vete la fea. Vete la fea means ugly Betty in Spanish, just so I get more comfortable. And the best decision I did with that fear, with that experience, is I started reading, and reading it carefully, learning the words and how to say them. And that served me well because in the university days, I was hired by a radio station to do you're listening to LBFM 97.4, local, loud, and proud. Yeah, right? And who knew, I will never be invited to talk here today if I didn't do that exercise out of that fear of saying something wrong or mispronouncing something. Next photo, please. So I call this Devil Wears a Suit. I already had 2 companies, I opened another one, and we're in the process of finding an investment. I got an email from a friend in Singapore saying that there's a managing director of a venture capital coming to Ho Chi Minh City and he would love to meet you about your new startup. So me, it's already my 3rd company, and I'm like, I'm confident, I can do this, I know how to do this. I walked in that meeting room, and I swear I couldn't finish 1 sentence without that person interrupting what I was saying. I was disappointed, I was insulted, but the worst thing is, a seed of fear started growing. That fear of doubting myself. Am I the right person for the job? Am I representing my team and my company properly? And so, as usual, I look at fear, I look at that self-doubt, I look at the fear that is hiding in self-doubt, and I told myself, what are you going to do? I canceled my investors meeting in the next 2 weeks. And I learned that, number 1, I need to relearn the buzzwords in investment. Number 2, I'm going to make sure in the first 30 seconds that I'm going to meet someone, I'm going to catch their attention right away. And the third and the most important thing I've learned is that next time I meet someone like him, I'm going to tell myself, Paul, smile, be respectful, and it's okay. Because at least this early, you know that's not the person you want to share your company with. You see what this experience has taught me? Looking at fear in a different way is a form of risk management. And risk management is a very, very expensive department in a company. Yeah? Alright, so with all these three experiences, I feel like the more we talk about fear, the more we look at it in a different way, we realize that dreams come with fear. But the important thing is that dreams always has to be bigger than that fear. Number two, that fear enables us to want to learn more and be prepared. And lastly, is that fear is a form of risk management. So next time I'm going to encounter something fearful, I'm going to tell myself, I'm going to tell that island boy, I'm going to tell those big dreamers out there that the world is not all whimsy. Not all the people we meet are Oprahs. We're going to meet something unexpected that's going to make us scared. And it's okay to be scared. So fear a little and keep the dream alive. Thank you very much.